Good morning, everyone. Today in this class, we are going to discuss about relational contracts. Okay. A relational contract is a contract whose effect is based upon the relationship of trust between the two different parties. Obviously, when there is a relational contract exists between the two parties, there should be at least trust between the parties, different parties. Okay. So here, whatever may be the contract condition exists. Okay. So above that one, you have a trust issue also. You have a trust issue above this one. So generally we have two types, that is one is partnering and alliancing. Okay. Partnering, when you are going to discuss about this partnering, okay, here what is happening in partnership or partnering type of arrangement, here parties, they will agree to cooperate. They are going to agree to cooperate for their mutual interest. When the two separate companies have one common objective, have one common objective, then the two companies will come together and decide to produce this product. So this is called as partnering. Okay. So the partners in partnership may be individual, business, organization, school, government, combination, maybe anything. Here, main mission of this partnering, the main mission of this business partnering is creating, organizing and developing, enforcing a short term or a medium term or a strategic partnership only. Okay. So partnership here is nothing but you are going to include your resources, one company, second company. So there may be multiple organization involved in the partnership, but they have one common objective or one common goal, which is a shared goal. Okay. So here benefits, what are the benefits you can see here? Here the total cost of that product or total cost of that project may decrease. Second is you will be having one competitive advantage. So in a company means some merits and demerits will be there in both cases. So once demerit, the second party will enter and make it as a merit for the total partnership entity. Total partnership entity. Okay. So other benefits are what? They will be having a competitive advantage in the market scenario. Due to what? Due to their cooperation, they are acting as one entity. So they will have better opportunity in the revenue generation, in occupation and in investment in the different sectors of the market. Okay. So they have one common goal to be achieved. That is what we are entering into the partnership. Okay. Now next is what? So in the next one, here risks and rewards are shared between the two different partners. Okay. So in a partnership type of firm where one company, second company will come and join and act as one partnership firm, it is called as partnership firm. Here whatever the risks execute, no risks are there, they are going to be shared between them. Okay. So if any loss is there, obviously both parties have to suffer for their loss. If any profit or gain is there, then both parties will be gaining that profit. So this one partnership type of contract, a clear cut risk have to be shared between the two parties and responsibility have to be assigned. Okay. So here about this is partnership. Now in alliance, what do you mean by alliance? Alliance is what? Agreement between the two or more individuals, how they are going to act, how they are going to act in a certain way to achieve that common goal. To achieve that common goal, they are not actually into the contract, but they are performing their part in making that situation, such that they are acting as one entity. Maybe 4 to 5 organization will be there in the market condition. They have a alliance or they have a tie-up like that. Okay. And they are going to perform in a such a way that all 5 objectives have been met in the present market condition. But in partnership, some legal bonding will be there, some legal bonding will be there, but in alliance that legal bonding is not there. Okay. So here what is that alliance? Alliance is typically a setup for a particular purpose only. It is going to be set up for a particular purpose. After when the purpose is met, when purpose is fulfilled, that alliance is going to be dissolved. It is going to be dissolved. But in partnership, it is not going to dissolve such easily. There will be legal issues. Okay. In alliance contracting, it is a term usually applied for a project or a service delivery where there is only one contract between the owner and the alliance of the parties. When you see this diagram, you will be understanding this one. Okay, this is a typical flowchart for the alliance type of contracting. Here what is happening, can you see here, this is the traditional contract, one main owner or a commissioner. Okay, here multiple parties are there, so there will be individual contract between the different parties. Here in alliance type of contracting, owner will be one separate entity and another entity, we call it as alliance entity. It is called as alliance entity. Here what is happening, all the parties which will come act as a one alliance party, and they will have only one contract between the owner, and all the risk and everything is shared as a alliance risk. Okay, that is the alliance contract. In traditional contract, individual risks have been shared. Okay, there is no guarantee for risk sharing between the two different parties, but here in alliance contracting, risk is properly shared. Okay, so here, can you, the difference is what, in traditional contract separate contracts are there, but here only one contract and only one performance framework will be there. In alliance, separate objectives are there, but here in alliance aligned objective or common objectives are there. Performance is here individually judged for different parties, but here only one common performance or overall performance is there. Here commissioner means what, central person will act as a coordinator, but here communication is in a very proper way, so that is why shared coordination exists here. Okay, so here disputes have been definitely will come in this traditional type of contract, but here it will run on a trust and transparency because it is a alliance. Here the specifications are very rigid, but here the specifications can be modified because it comes it the contract itself is defined by an alliance which is determined by their relationship. So obviously changes are permitted here, but here changes are not so easily permitted here. Okay, so here always in alliance the outcome is evaluated first, and it is based on the relationship, and we have always a chance for change in the scope or delivery schedule, and innovation is what is that, encouraged here in this case. What are the key process, when you see this one, key process in successful partnering or alliance? So both partnering and alliance are what, relational contracts. What are the key process? In short, you can say that they should have a belief in a different firm. They should have a common belief system among the parties. One thing, common belief and trust. Okay. Second is their objective, whatever they have agreed, no, they should be common and beneficial to each other. Common objective and beneficial to each other. Okay. And before entering into the partnership or alliancing, they should get a sufficient external training. Means what, they should go for a behavioral changes in the management, because when you are entering into the partnership or alliance, your management style should be matched with the other management style of that partnering firm. So that is why a rigid management style will not work and flexible style will be accepted here. So that is why before going for that one, a training from external entity should be compulsorily done here. So three successful factors, what are those? Belief and trust among the different parties, common objectives which are mutually beneficial. Okay, risks will be shared. Okay, risk and gains will be shared. And third is management behavior changes by external training setup. So these are the three main successful factors. Apart from that, you should have very common factor, effective communication internally as well as externally, and innovation and new ideas should be encouraged in the partnership type, and teamwork should be effectively present. Teamwork should be effectively implemented in this case. Okay, and obviously there should be mutual understanding, and that concept is always there. Very important, open book accounting is always maintained in partnership type of firm, because at the end you are going to share the profit. So that is why there is a open book accounting system generally maintained in that one. And very important, what is that we have discussed, managing behavioral change in the management style. What is that? Before entering into the partnership, a rigid management style is converted into flexible, because a culture of different partnership firms should be matched. What is the advantages of alliancing? So here you will be having active management rather than reactive management. Okay, active management rather than reactive. And obviously the reduced cost, reduced duration, okay, and quality improvement. Reduced cost, reduced duration, and quality improvement. And continuous and maximized input from the different partnership firms. Okay, and collaborative relationship with with mutual trust, and ownership, risk and problems will be shared. And you have a high value for money. You'll be having a high value for money. These are some of the advantage. Disadvantage, easily you can tell that when any disputes come, a legal aspect is a very different or a major disadvantage. So obviously trust is a very big issue here, so that is, you can consider it as a disadvantage also. Okay, so when you are going to for a partnership or alliance, a new process or a new setup has to be present in that one, so that will add to an additional cost. First is trust issues, second is new setup or new development in the management style, so that will add as an additional cost. Okay, sometimes very important, that is what, legal uncertainty, very important, legal uncertainty is always there. And it is when there is a what is that, dissolution of partnership, when you will end up in a costly dissolution. Okay, costly means what, ending process are very costly here. Difference between partnership and alliance. What is the difference between partnership and alliance? Here partnership firm means what, you are agreeing to that objectives, and you somehow you are legally contracted, legally bound, and you have to perform those objectives. You have to perform those objectives. But in alliance they are not legally bound to each other. In alliance they are not legally bound to each other. They are working for a common goal, but they are not legally bound. Okay, contributions. When you make a differentiation, what is the contribution in partnership? Here in partnership firm, in partnership type of firms, you have to put equal amount of finance or funds, and equal amount of profits will be shared. Equal amount of profits or losses will be shared. In other words, you can tell that losses and gains are equally shared. Losses and gains are equally shared in partnership, that is contribution side. But in alliance you are not at all sharing the finances. You are putting your own finances, and you are getting your own rewards for that one. Your loss will not be counted for others people loss also. Okay, sharing liability. Here in partnership, what is happening in partnership, you are you have to have invest your assets here. You have to invest your assets here to get the profit. Here in the alliance there is no legal bounding to invest your assets here. Okay, but sharing liabilities. In a partnership, the partners are responsible for financial obligations of the company. Means what? One, two, three, four. Like this, four or three companies are engaged in a partnership. One company's loss will be definitely for other company's loss also, because losses and gains are proportionally shared in partnership. But in alliance, you are not liable for other companies loss and profit. That is the key point here. Okay, liability will be shared in partnership, but liabilities will not be shared in the alliances. Will not be shared in the alliances. Authority to act. Who is the authority? One common person will be acting as an authorized person to act, to take the action, to take the decision, and other persons, remaining persons, have to obey that one. This will happen in partnership, but in alliance this is not will be the case. So all persons have an individual decision taking process here, alliance. So there is no legal or there is no general bounding for the one common decision here. So in dissolution at the end stage, partnership may be very costly, but in alliance the dissolution will not make any additional cost here. Dissolution means at the end when the partnership dissolves, it will be costly because everything has to be shared between the two different parties, two or three different parties. But in alliances, this will not be the case. This will not be the case. An example for alliance, strategic alliance. You can give an example for ICICI Bank and Vodafone. What has happened here? ICICI Bank is a big private largest bank in India, and Vodafone India is the largest telecom service provider. So both have been entered into a strategic alliance to launch an unique mobile money transfer and payment service called as M-Pesa. M-Pesa. This is an example for alliance, strategic alliance. So apart from that, Asian Paint and it has taken what is that alliance with the Singapore based Berger International. So that is an alliance. Apple and IBM and also have strategic alliance. So like that you can give so many examples for that one.